بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. دمان داودياشا تلفزيون كوين كلسن وحان إذن كسلامينا هودا أنغو حاضر كوا ستيشن كا تلفزيون كا كيالا نورث سيركولار رود كراون هاوس. ما أنت أو سنينا سيدا نوغا براتينا وحان إذن سو تبنينا برنامج كا caanka ah ee la yiraahdo gurmad ee ka baxa toddobaad kasta telefishinkan. Hawada waxaa barnaamijkaasi si gaar ah inoogu marti ah laba ruux oo qaali ah. Sarkaalka asagu u qaabilsan tababarada isboortiga rugby-ga Thai iyo managerka horumarinta naadiyada isboortiga manager Simon Winman. waxaa barnaamijka cawada ku saabsan yahay introduction of rugby to Somali community iyo Somali community introduction to the rugby sports. We will be speaking both in Somali and English, and I have to welcome these two honorable guests from the Rugby Football Union to the program. Please welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next to me is Manager Simon Winman, who is Rugby Club Development, responsible for developing the rugby clubs anywhere. And next to the Manager Simon is Thai, who is Rugby Football Union Development Officer. These two gentlemen are key officials responsible for promoting and developing these popular sports. So I have to welcome them to the program. Please again, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Delighted to be here.
Thank you very much. Could you kindly introduce yourself to the viewers tonight? And I also hope that Thai will also do the same. Thank you very much. Yes.
Certainly. My name is Simon Winman. I am the head of club development at the Rugby Football Union. That involves me looking after and supporting all the volunteers that work in rugby clubs around England, helping to build new facilities for those rugby clubs, and also helping those clubs to run themselves effectively and as efficiently as possible.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Ty Sterry. I'm Rugby Development Officer for Middlesex, and my job is to assist in the growth of the game in our clubs, schools, colleges and universities. And we have a team of 9 staff working across London and working really very hard to help introduce and engage more 14 to 24-year-olds into our rugby family.
Thank you very much, yes. The question is, we will focus on this popular sport and how we can introduce this sport to the Somali community. As you know, we have got 250,000 strong Somali population in the United Kingdom, most of whom are looking forward into a better future. And we have also got people who already made the headlines and brought a lot of dignity and good name to the country they have became part of. My first question is across to Manager Simon. What can you tell us about the history of rugby, the basic rugby rules, the local, regional and international matches of rugby football that are played in the present day?
So, well, the history of rugby goes back a long way, goes back to the 1870s. It has grown to be a global sport over those years.
Yes.
We have 1,200 rugby clubs in England who play rugby.
Yes.
Globally, there are over 100 countries who are affiliated to an organisation called World Rugby. And World Rugby is the organisation that oversees rugby around the world. At a local level, We play rugby every week during the season, which is September through to April, end of April. We play international rugby in November. England plays in November, and also in January through to end of March. And we have the Rugby World Cup taking place in 12 days' time in England.
Yes, yes.
In 12 venues around the country, including Wembley, just around the corner from these studios, as well as the Olympic Park and Twickenham in London. And that is going to be a fantastic festival that we hope that the Somali community can really engage with, can watch some rugby, and then start to understand a little better what rugby actually is.
Thank you very much. I think that would be a very good point. What I wanted to say is that, you know, this sport is getting extremely popular, and it has been in and around for the last 150 years, since the boy took the ball in Warwickshire. I think what we are aiming is to help the youngsters. You already made clear we are targeting a age group from 16 to 25. And I think this age group really is the one that requires some kind of activities, because today the young people spend more time indoors, sitting behind computer screens, playing games. And I think and there are, you know, health risks to those involved in, you know, long time playing the games and spending time. And there are also other risks. I would like to mention why it is important that we should encourage the youngsters to take part in the sports like rugby and do a lot of physical activity rather than staying idle inside the homes. I think there is a teenage gamer who had a broken leg in southern Russian town, Russian Republic, call it Bashkortostan. I think the name is Bashkortostan. The boy had a broken leg, so he wasn't able to go around to his and go to his school, so he was left inside home. He became addicted to computer games, and he was playing 22 hours non-stop from the 2nd of August this year until he dropped dead on the 30th. I think it is an issue that has been widely talked about. He was taken to a hospital but was declared dead. One of the people who spoke about this issue was Russian representative for children issues, Ashtakov, who said it's important that we know what the kids are doing, and I think what has been said, that this boy was playing what is equal to 83 whole days online, 83 days. A dependence on computers, he said, the gentleman who's responsible for children's affairs, is one of the biggest dangers for kids nowadays. I think there is also medical experts who commented on the issue, saying people can suffer from such problems during long flights when they are forced to sit. They presumably die from a medical condition called thrombosis. For example, people who travel on long flights 6 hours to more than, for example, 12 hours. They develop this. And I think the experts are saying this is similar to the children who are playing on computers for longer time. So what we are trying to do tonight is something that I am 100% sure many parents would appeal and welcome it. We are introducing a good sport to the kids, and we are taking to every town in this city. I think we will reach out people in all the 33 boroughs, create clubs and do it. The thing I wanted to ask is that who is the governing body responsible for organization of rugby's major international tournaments, notably the Rugby World Cup?
That is World Rugby.
Yes, that's the
So yes, that's the overarching body that looks after the Rugby World Cup.
yes.
As I say, there were over 100 countries
Yes.
who are affiliated to the World Rugby,
Yes.
from all over the world, in all continents.
Yes.
In Africa, we have Tunisia and Morocco playing a lot of rugby.
Yes.
The west coast of Africa, Southern Africa is obviously quite a hotbed of rugby as well, with South Africa and Namibia and Kenya playing rugby.
Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya
Absolutely.
playing. Also, you have got the Gulf states, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
Also, Egypt, Jordan. All these countries are playing.
So there's a huge interest across the world
Yes.
to play rugby.
Yes. I think we have to wait a little bit. There is an advert.
Yeah, I think that's important.
I think, gentlemen, now people can view the rugby sports and see how it's played, where it's played, and how the players equip themselves. Can you tell us a little bit about how it's played and the rule of the game? For example, if you talk about the equipment.
Sure. Yeah.
And generally the basic rules.
Sure, certainly. What the viewers are seeing on the television at the moment is part of our All Schools programme,
Yes.
which is where we're introducing rugby into schools that don't play rugby normally. It's been very successful.
Yes.
Ty has done some fantastic work with Cranford College,
Yes.
and associated with the Dar es Salaam Mosque and
Mosque,
Community
yes,
Centre.
Definitely.
And some of the rugby that you're seeing on the television is both touch rugby and contact rugby. So rugby isn't just one format. It's not just about 15 players against 15 players. It could be 10 against 10. It could be 7 against 7. And it doesn't always mean that we should be as physical as some of the activity that's being seen on the television.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to be introduced to the game, they can do so via touch rugby, which is less physical.
Yes.
And then once they feel confident about the game, they can then progress to a more contact orientated game.
Just if you throw some light on the touch rugby, means there is not that much physical
No,
movement.
well, I'll
That's
let
right.
Ty
It's-
answer
Touch
that.
rugby is a very fast, very fun, very enjoyable game,
Yes.
which allows all participants to have loads of touches, loads of time on the ball, lots of opportunities to run with the ball, and it's very simply what you'd see in the contact version of the game, where you'd see a tackle that's represented by just being touched. So if you're touched, you have to move the ball. It's a wonderfully fast game, and it's a fantastic health. To come back onto your earlier point when you mentioned the story from Russia, the wonderful thing about our sport is how it engages and inspires young people to get active. We need them to get active, we need them to concentrate on their health and well-being, which helps them study better, helps them better in their education, helps them focus more. And we spend a great deal of time investing in our coaches to work with the whole child. So we really work on their social and personal development. So we help them connect better with their friends. We help their character and their confidence. And it's just a fabulous sport for developing young people.
Definitely, that's a very good point. The thing I wanted to say is, in terms of the game, for the game to be played safely and for the individual playing to enjoy it, what is the main thing needed in terms of equipping the person playing?
Yeah, well,
a lot of people do not have the idea.
Of course, in relation to equipment, all rugby teams, they have particular uniform that they wear, which is shirts, shorts or tracksuit bottoms.
Yes.
They wear rugby boots or football boots or trainers, depending on the variation of rugby they're going to play. They have an opportunity to wear gum shields if they play a contact version of the sport.
Yeah.
But to come back on the point, we work so hard to develop good coaching practices on the field, that we really do develop young players who really understand how to be well balanced and well coordinated.
Yeah.
So fortunately you don't see many occurrences of injury through contact.
Oh, that's good. So I think what the person needs is shirts, the boots, the gum shields, and shoulder. Sometimes I see shoulder pads, and I think all this. How much does sometimes people would like to know how much it costs for an individual to have all these things?
Well, the wonderful thing about the All Schools program, which is the program that we're working very well with in Cranford Community College and also Heston Community School,
yes,
is that the program is so well resourced by our sponsors at CBRE that a lot of this equipment is readily provided. Free. So it's free to access for these children in school, so they can get some real confidence and get some real game time and really get a feel for what they're playing. When they go to club rugby, there may be a small subscription to pay. There's obviously an opportunity to buy kit, although that might not be necessary. Again, for our all schools children and for children that we're working with within a number of our school projects, we actually have the resource to be able to create that barrier-free experience where perhaps the money doesn't prevent us from engaging those children.
Yes, I think we're getting calls from some of the viewers. Please welcome. There is a caller. I would like to welcome you to the program.
Hi, good afternoon, thank you.
Who are you and where are you calling?
My name is Musa and I'm calling from London.
Musa, welcome please, and your question.
Well, I would like to thank Gentlemen for participating in tonight. There's one question I would like to raise, that we would like to actually have more Somali youth engaging in the games rugby. And we wanted to know, is there any sort of funding available to organize something and set up a rugby league for the young Somali youth?
Well, just Musa, I would be particularly interested to know which part of London are you calling from?
Sorry,
Hello,
could you
Musa?
repeat that? Hear the question?
Yeah, the question is very clear. So what is your response?
First of all, Musa, thank you very much for calling. It's great that you're interested in our conversation, our discussion, and in the game of rugby. In terms of setting up Somali rugby teams, I think the best way would be to work through the Somali community and the community leaders. We also, don't forget, have rugby clubs that will be local to a lot of Somali communities. If you are unsure about going to a local rugby club, then we need to be able to find other people, other Somali people who might go with you, that you can go with a group of people and be welcome to the club as a group rather than individual. It's never easy going to a new club or a new venue on your own. So the best thing to do would be to find some friends and to make that move with the support of the Somali leaders.
I think what are you, especially tonight we are here to tell the viewers about our plan to introduce rugby to the Somali community. So we must unveil our program and say we have a plan and a structure. So could you highlight that, please?
Sure. Are you still there, Musa?
Yeah, go on.
I'm really excited to get your telephone call. I think it's fantastic. You mentioned about is there any funding available to help set up a league or set up playing opportunities? The best advice is we can help you because we are creating a rugby development group specific to our Somali and other Muslim communities, and it would be fantastic if you could make contact with us and we could take that opportunity, because clearly you're inspired and energized to call the show, so we'll be delighted to get in touch with you and help you create what you want.
Thank you very much. Yes. Another caller, please welcome. We welcome you. Okay, maybe we have lost that caller. Okay. What people would like to hear is that we are going to introduce rugby to the Somali community. And I would like to say clearly that we are going to create a London-wide committee that, under the management and guidance of the Rugby Union, registers, trainees, both coaches and people who are going to be trained for the sports between the ages of 6 to 25. That's right. So what would you say to that?
That's exactly right, Sahel. We are, obviously you and I we've had a tremendous detailed discussions about it, and we've got a great opportunity to make the most not only of the World Cup and the exposure that the World Cup brings with it, but the opportunity to invite our Somali friends from all over London to participate in it and get involved in this committee to express their passion for helping us grow the game. Ideally, what we'd like to see is a rugby offering in each of the 33 London boroughs, and if we can, to develop those into satellite clubs. We can work with our partners at London Sport to try and gain funding for those satellite clubs, which is it's a fantastic opportunity to get more people active.
And this was the center of our discussion after the introduction of rugby. We have tried, and we have seen that the communities are willing and ready to take up the new sports and make good use of it. I think what I would like to say to the people that we are going to come, and I think the Rugby Union is ready now to sit with the community from all London towns, and that meeting we would create committees that are working closely with you, the professionals, to create clubs in every area and to register youngsters from the ages of 6, am I right, to 25 years.
Yeah.
And then from that we can get sportsmen who might in the future compete in local, regional and national matches.
Well, the vision is to have the Mo Farah equivalent running out for England at perhaps the next World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. So you one day hope that from here and what we are now starting, Mo Farah of rugby, from respect of rugby and rugby sports,
we might need him to be slightly bigger.
Yeah, slightly bigger.
Slightly bigger, but just as fast.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Just as fast.
In terms of physical appearance, you wanted a bigger person, definitely.
Just a little bit bigger. I think it's worth just mentioning the work that's been happening
Yes.
At Cranford College and Dar es Salaam Mosque,
Yes.
and the way in which that work has connected with the local rugby clubs in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been really fortunate. You know, our introduction was made as a result of the hard work of other volunteers in the game. So we were very fortunate to have the assistance of the school and the deputy head teacher, Alan Fraser, who introduced us to Najib and Joan from the local authority. And we were able to meet and discuss the opportunities. But through that work and through the All Schools programme, Cranford is now in year 3 of its project.
Yes.
And the project is designed to create sustainable rugby in 400 schools across the country. And the programs are massively successful. A great example is 18 new children joined an under-14 team, which changed the fortunes of the team. It took the team from 8 players up to 26. So they were, you know, in a far better condition to play and have more fixtures. There's some other great stories about we've managed to qualify 24 new coaches who now deliver in schools, which makes our school programs far more sustainable.
I think, but that's through these schools, but by directly communicating with the community and setting up clubs in every borough, I think you will be a lot more successful than you are actually. And this is what we are aiming. Viewers across towns and villages, what we are aiming is, walaalayaal waxaan jeclahay in aan xoogaa idinkaga sheego wixii caawada barnaamijka ku saabsanay walaalaha luqadaha kale ku hadla ama ingiriisiga markaasi aynan u fududayn. Ujeedadani waxaa nala jooga manager Simon Winman oo ah manager ka tirsan rugby unionka oo macnaha mas'uul ka ah horumarinta ama abuurista naadiyo markaasi iyagu tababara oo mas'uul ka noqda inay soo saaraan ciyaartooy xagga dhanka rugby footballka. Waxaa kaloo la socda Thai oo ah officer asagu ah maaragtay rugby footballka development officer oo horumarinteeda iyo korodhideeda mas'uulka labadan saaxiib cawada inoogu casuman barnaamijkan gurmad ka baxa toddobaadlaha ka baxa telefishinkan weyn ee Kalson waxa ay halkan u joogaan hal ujeedo oo ah in ay gaarsiiyaan sportigan dadweynaha Soomaaliyeed dalkan iyadoo lagu bilaabayo mashruuca ugu horeeya magaalada London. Haddaba waxaan ka hadlaynaa caruurteeni waxaan u doonaynaa wax kasta oo khayr ah waxaana kamid ah khayrkaasi in caruurtii waan ognahay in guryaha fadhiyaan oo kombiyuutarada ku jiraan. Kombiyuutaradaas ayaa dhibaato ka imanaysa laba dhibaato way imanaysaa dhibaato xaggii akhlaaqiyadka oo taasiir weyn ku yeesha noloshooda sida la socotaan jaraa'idka waxa ku soo baxay qiso wiil 14 jir ah oo isagu macnaha diray qolkiisa jiifka isaga qaaday suurada soo qaawan oo dhar haysan una diray gabar 14 jir ah oo saaxiibadiisa gabadhii waxay la wadaagtay suuradii dad fara badan waxaana wiilkii markii dambe suuradiisa ay gaartay booliiska oo geliyay database-kooda waxaana ku jiray database-kaaga akhlaaq darrada muddo 10 sano micnaheedu wuxuu yahay wiilka yar ee jaraa'idka ku soo baxay aad ka eegan kartaan internetyada waxa uu noqonayaa criminal record ayuu helay oo la soconaya 10 sano soo socda hadda wuxuu jiraa 14 marka uu gaaro 24 sano oo jaamacadda dhameystay awood u yeelan maayo meelaha qaar inuu ka shaqeeyo because employerska markay criminal check ku sameeyaan waa la ogaanaya waxa kaloo jira qiso aan sheegnay wiil yar oo Southern Russian Republic lug ka jabay oo guriga fadhiyay ila lug baa ka jabana marka wuxuu dheeliyay 22 saacadood non stop laga bilaabo 8 bisha Agosto wuxuuna dhintay 30kii waxa uu dhintay wax la yiraahdo thrombosis sida dhakhaatiirta ay sheegayaan oo ah clotting of the blood in the vessels amba dhiigga oo xarkaga oo xinjirooba waa wax ku dhaca macnaha marka dhibaatooyinkaas waxa lagaga baxaa in caruurta lagu guwaabiyo in toddobaadkiiba cala alaqal mar ay sameeyaan physical activity amba ay ka qayb qaataan nooc min sports hadday noqon lahayd football ama noqon lahayd orodada hadday noqon lahayd rugbyga. haddaba waxaan isku daynay raggan oon la kulmay isbaranay mashruucna isla sameynay ayaan waxaan isla soo qaadnay inay habboon tahay in sportigan la gaarsiiyo dhammaan wiilasha Soomaaliyeed. waxay ayaguna doonayaan inay soo saaraan ruux sidii Mo Faraxa oo awood u leh in uu mataqaanaa macnaha sportiga ka muuqdo oo guulo ka keeno. marka waxaan rajaynaynaa inaad cawada su'aalaha ku saabsan soo weydiisaan. ujeedadu waxay tahay in la sameyn doono London Wide Committee oo Soomaaliyeed oo 33 boro ashqaas la isaga keeni doono. markaana aan isku dayin in degmo kasta iyo macnaha ka sameyno rugby club. waxaan isweydiinay maxaa qofka rugbyga dheelayo u baahan yahay. waxaa ka mid ah wuxuu u baahan yahay shirts oo u baahan yahay, boots oo u baahan yahay, geedaha la gashto afku u baahan yahay, wuxuu u baahan yahay kuwa garbaha la gashto ee difaacaya. waxaasoo dhan waa lacag baan iri. marka waxay diyaar u yihiin in ay funding keenaan oo lacag la'aani ay noogu yimaado sportiga. diiniyan wax mamnuuca ma ahan. marka walaalayaal su'aashii aad doontaan luqadii Soomaaliga Ingiriiskaba ku soo weydiiya barnaamijka ka qayb qaata. I have explained all the things we have been saying in Somali very quickly, and we hope that people will participate. Let's continue our question until people call us. I think the popularity of rugby here in UK, particularly among ethnic minority communities. You have talked about the rugby at international level.
Yeah.
The game is now played. There is a Gulf state is rugby. I have seen South African rugby. I have seen also Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda playing, and South American rugby. And I think there are, so how popular this sports among the ethnic minorities?
Our recent research will tell us that around about 10% of our playing population comes from the ethnic minority communities.
Yes.
It's a number that we would want to be higher.
Yes.
We certainly consider our sport to be inclusive,
Yeah.
to be very family orientated,
Yes.
to want to reach out into all communities.
Yes.
We have very strong core values
Yes.
of teamwork, respect, enjoyment, discipline, and sportsmanship. And we believe that those core values are at the heart of the game, and the heart of the game sits within the community, whatever community that is. I would have to say that sometimes it's been a challenge for us. We have not been able to find the right mechanism for approaching some of the ethnic minority communities, which is why we're sat here with you this evening and delighted to be able to do so, because we feel that we have got now a mechanism
Yes.
by which we can reach certainly the Somali community,
Yes.
but also wider communities as well. And it's really exciting that we're able to do
And
this.
also you have got one of the most popular Somali media, Kalson TV.
Indeed.
Is a very respected and widely viewed across the 6 continents. Millions of Somalis are gluing to the screens on a daily basis, watching different programs, and I'm 100% sure they are welcoming this call for their children to participate in this.
In which case we would ask the Somali community around the world to pick up a rugby ball,
Definitely.
find a rugby ball, or find a ball any shape in the first instance, and play rugby.
In terms of the shape of the ball, what can you say about it? It looks like different from the football.
It's certainly different to a football.
Yeah.
Can
I touch it?
Indeed, you can. It's a little soft at the moment.
Yeah.
This is a ball that will be used in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So each World Cup has a particular design.
Yeah.
And this is the design for the Rugby World Cup in England in 2 weeks' time.
Are gloves being used?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
Sometimes players will use gloves because they feel it helps them catch the ball. although the balls now are made, I don't know whether you can see, they're very dimpled.
Yes.
If you can feel that they're it's got a rough texture to it.
Yes.
They're dimpled, and so when it's
that hard.
well, it should be pumped up a little more.
Oh yeah, that's
but if it was, it would probably roll
off the table.
So we've left it like that. So it can. So it's made to be able to be caught as well as possible, and also to be kicked as well, because we kick and we pass the ball.
I think Ty, you have seen. We have talked about the health aspect from how the sports is very useful and important to the kids. From the other side, when kids are inside their bedrooms and you don't know what they are doing, and all day they have been bored, they do silly stuff like this. You see, a 14-year-old boy has been added to the police database. If he were a sportsman, I think we have a caller. Please welcome.
Hello.
Alaikum assalam.
Walaal programkaaga waan haddan aragnay aad iyo aad ugu faraxsanahay.
Yes. Well, you're welcome. She said, I just saw the program and I'm very happy. Your name and where are you calling?
My name is magacayga waxa la yiraahdaa Aamino, waxaan ka hadlayaa xaafadda Wadsite.
Waa maadsantahay. Walaal waxa ku hadli kartaa luqadda Soomaaliga ee su'aasha rabtana waa weydiin kartaa.
Okay. Waxaan rabay inaan weydiiyo maadaama anigu wiilalaan leeyahay.
Sax.
Wiilasheeda waxay interest ku yihiin footballka. Marka hadda opportunity-kan ilmaha ay siinaysiin ma xuma, waa wax fiican. Marka haddaan rabno inaan ilmaheena aan ku dhiirigelino ciyaartan, ma leeyihiin meelo aan kala xiriirno ilmihii aan geysan karno oo macnaha la siiyo mataqaanaa in la baro ila ciyaartan ma yaqaana waa wax nagu cusube.
She said, I have children and I got boys. I live in White City. I'm very happy to view and see the program. She said, is there a place where we can go to teach our children and let them join this good sport? Walaal, waa ku jirtaa khadka Soma?
Ya walaal.
Khadka waa ku jirtaa, waa macnaha waan ku sheegayaa inkastoo jawaabta ayaga saaxiibadan aan u dhaafayno Simon iyo Ty, waxaan ku sheegayaa ujeedada dhan barnaamijkan waxay tahay rugby unionka go'aan wuxuu ku gaaray inuu sameeyo barnaamij liira introduction of rugby to Somali community in London, in sportigan la gaarsiiyo boro kasta oo London ah. Waa program nidaamsan, waxaa la sameynayaa guddi Soomaaliyeed oo 66 ruux ka koobma oo 33 boro ah. Marka boro kastana maraa la tagayaa, waxaa la sameynayaa in dadka waalidiinta loo yeerayaa sidii aan ka sameynay Honslow. waalidiinta marka loo yeero waxaa loo sharxayaa sharciyada gameka, caruurtoodana way keenayaan, waxaa la siinayaa registration forms, marka waa is sajalayaan 6 jir ilaa 25 jir. Marka wax kharasha kuguma kacayo, cunugaagina wuxuu helayaa maalin kamid ah usbuucii in loo tababaro sportigan. Waxay yiraahdaan waxaan raadinaynaa inaan ka dhaxalno Soomaalida nin moo faaraxo kala ah. Marka waa maalgelin lagu maalgashanayo, adigana faa'iido ku qabto wuxuu yahay ilmahaagi inay ku mashquulaan wax wanaagsan. Soo ma fahmin wala?
صح.
Marka, just what would be your response rather than mine to this viewer, a female viewer who is a mother of children? Yep. She said, I'm delighted to view this program and I would like to know where can I start, how I can get my children join this. So I have given her a brief introduction of our big plan. Thank you.
Well, I think that we would have a rugby club with a junior section for her boys very close to where she lives. Ty, White City area?
For children in the White City area, their closest club would be Wasps FC, which is located in Twyford Avenue in Acton.
Yeah.
It's a fantastically vibrant club. It has a huge mini and junior section with great coaching and fantastic facilities. It's very well organised. if you want contact details, if you'd like to give the studio a call after, I'll make sure that the details are left for you, so that you can contact the club or myself directly.
In addition to our big program, reaching out the community in every poro in a structured manner, creating committees, what would you say?
Well, this is a fantastic step.
Yes.
You know, to have this opportunity to reach out to so many people,
yes,
and share our game,
yeah,
and make the family bigger,
yeah,
can
yes,
only be a great thing.
yeah, definitely.
And the more boroughs and the more Somali communities that would like to get involved in rugby, I am so delighted and excited to have the opportunity to help and work with them.
And we want...
Is another caller on the line. Please welcome.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Walal soo dhawaw.
Salaamullah. Iyo aad waxaan ugu faraxsanahay horta opportunity aad u fidiseen dhalinyarada Soomaaliyeed. Waa
magacaaga walaal halkee ka soo wacaysa adoo raaliya?
Waxaan ka soo wacay London, Aliya Maxamed Abduqaadir.
Maxamed Abduqaadir. Walal soo dhawaw Maxamed Abduqaadir.
Oo aad ugu faraxsanahay horta hawsha aad qabateen. Kulli TV ugu horeeya opportunity aan u soo fidinayo dhalinyarada Soomaaliyeed.
صح.
كل وعدينك. You're doing well, and you're giving a good opportunity of young. أنا وفرحان هاي. Second link كستانا وان بوديهان عن سومالي أسمع اثنين رugby جا. وعن كوفي عندنا فوتبول كا يأردده. كانت كسيان وفينا. مركا وأرنها الجانس كلا فوتبول كيو أردده بل بروتين تيجي. الجانس كان بل أصابنا تسيدنا كلا. هل كل هالويلو سومالي ما كان عارك أكليو رugby عياره. وأنا نيك يقول كل هذا عاركوا إن سواء الدنيا دوي لا يرادو. waxaan kala oran lahaa dhalinyarada badan oo xabasiyada ku jiro oo aan joose badan lahayn waxaa laga yaabaa in opportunity ka faa'iidaystaan inaad loogu tago xabasiyada oo opportunity loo bandhigo aan noqotaan idinka leader TV ugu horeeya opportunity kan u fidiya dhalinyarada Soomaaliyeed.
Thank you.
waxaan oran lahaa TV-da kala ku daydaan wadada afashteen. waxaan oran lahaa well done guys.
Thank you very much. Abduqaadir waa mahadsan tahay walaal fikradahaagii iyo talooyinkaagii waan qaadanaynaa waxaana jecelnahay mataqana the gentleman he thanked the TV and the management for coming up with a valuable program. He said that presented something useful to the community. So he said you are the first TV to introduce a program of rugby, I think, and we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you think? I think even though there are clubs and rugby has been fragmented in different areas, in our view, we know there are clubs, but the bottom line of this program is that creation of rugby clubs in which dominantly encourages the Somalis. Yes. Somalis are very, very clever people. They are hardworking. They want to progress wherever they are. I think the experience of the civil war and our country going down hasn't destroyed us. Instead, we traveled to different areas of the world and we have engaged with the community. We became part of it. And I believe that there would be so many more Farahis in every kind of sports we have. I'm very happy that you have in the past came to the mosque and we did a good presentation. I and Ty have spoken in lengthy conversations, and we talked about how best we can reach the community. And I think we will set up a date for which interested parties from all London boroughs can come together. It may be in Twickenham or it may be a central location, and then parents can be invited, children can be asked to come along, and then through there we can register.
Could I?
Yes. Yeah.
Make an additional point to that, Sahel. I think the most important thing that we have to be able to do is to make sure that we are able to gain the trust of the community.
Yes.
It's a new sport to many Somali people.
Yes.
I was humbled to be asked to come and talk to your mosque.
Yes.
And it was evident there that there was an enthusiasm for something new.
Yes.
and that the mosque has grasped an opportunity, which for us was fantastic. But it is primarily about a new community understanding a new game and a new sport. Our values are shared. We have shared values of respect and discipline, which runs very, very deep through the Somali community as well as through our rugby family. But we need to take one step at a time, and that by working within the London boroughs and having the Somali community getting together to talk about our sport and ways in which their young people can play their sport for all sorts of reasons, not just because it's enjoyable, but for some of the reasons that you've discussed, we've discussed earlier about health benefits and having our young people outside of the house and outside of their bedrooms. It's really important that we take this step by step and that we do right by your community.
Definitely, I think we have got last minute, and I think what is your response to a lot of people viewing us tonight and maybe deciding to take this step forward into what we have proposed it? I think it wouldn't be a good idea that if you just set us through your communications, set us a date, and then we come with the right people from every borough. And then in that way, we create a Somali committee dedicated to promote these sports and introduce the sports to the community and the community to the sports.
Well, again, I would be delighted to have the opportunity to host a community committee and invite them to Twickenham Stadium.
Thank you very much.
Where we could have a fantastic meeting and discuss the future of the development group and how we can help really engage the Somali communities in the boroughs. It's important, though, that we understand that we're engaging the community as a whole and not just the player. We need mums involved, we need dads involved, we need brothers, uncles, aunties.
It's all out war.
It's all out family, because family, the game, we really do pride ourselves on being we say family clubs, it's a rugby family. We need mums and dads, we need volunteers that can help really establish some sustainable rugby in those boroughs for the young people.
I think the people who are economically unable to address the needs of equipping these sports, would we say they don't have to worry about, and we can find somebody to address kind of funding?
I can definitely say that they do not need to worry
about financial.
We have some fantastically resourced programs within the organisation.
Thank you very much. walaalayaal insha Allah waa maqlaysaan barnaamijkani wuxuu leeyahay maalgelin loogu talagalay. insha Allah waxaan u yeeri doonaa dadka kala duwan boorooyada kala duwan London, waxaana lagu kulmi doonaa Twickenham waqti la soo xadido aan la socodsiin doonaa. sidoo kale barnaamijkani waxaan kala xiriireynaa ka promote gareyn doonaa Kalsan TV oo isku dayayno inay qayb libax ka qaadato. haddana dad badan ay u mahadnaqayaan inay la timid barnaamij muhiima lana timaado barnaamij muhiim. waxaa mahad gaar leh maamulaha Xasan Duraam oo fududeeyay in mujtamaca Soomaaliyeed loo keeno waxyaabihii markaa dan u ah. waxaan jeclahay sida uu ii sheegay Xasan in TV-gu ka qayb qaadan doono duugta Allah u naxariistay mid kamid ah dhalinta Soomaaliyeed gacan xaqdarra ay ka xaqdaran ay dishay islaaw waxa weeye wacays haruuse oo aan rajaynayno birito in akhbaarta aan heli doono goorta duugtiisa ay noqon doonto. waxaan kaloo u rajaynaynaa dadweynaha dhammaan habeen wanaagsan iyo inaad ogaataan in barnaamijyada ka baxa TV-gan ayna iska ahayn barnaamijyo ay yihiin kuwa markaasi doonaya inay mujtamaca u qabtaan hadday noqon lahayd daryeelka dhaqanka iyo caadada Soomaaliyeed, korodhigista diinta iyo fahamkeeda, iyo ku soo zaa'idinta mujtamaca lagu soo zaadiyo waxyaabihii dan u ah. marka walaalaha saaxiibadeena Simon iyo Ty aad bay ay diyaar ugu yihiin in ay wax nala qabtaan. annaguna waa inaan diyaar noqonaa marka naloo baahdo. wax qarasho ka baxaya male, cid wax ka doonaysa male. wiilkaaga wuxuu tababar helayaa 6 jir ilaa hadduu yahay ilaa 25 oo sportigan barto. ilaahay baan og biri wuxuu noqon doono. intaan idin la kulmi doono waxaan idin kaga tageynaa habeen wanaagsan iyo amaana Allah iyo amaana Rasuul iyo isaragti dambe. toddobaadka soo socda barnaamijka waxaa daadihin doona ducaale yuusuf saaxiibkayga weyn waxaan idin rajaynaynaa khayr badan wassalaamu calaykum waraxmat ullah